Hello, my name is Brad Banks. I'm a self-made millionaire that became financially successful from being savvy and learning the key principles to money management and applied them to my life. Nowadays, I spend my time providing help to people like yourself that want to leverage the resources around them to make sound financial decisions and accomplish their goals, in exchange for them hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. Today's topic is around credit. Credit's a useful tool that I've used to purchase things for a lower price, enjoy free travel, and get tons of perks that I wouldn't have been able to enjoy without it. So I've briefly established what credit can help you with, but let's define what it means and discuss why it's important. That way you can have a foundational understanding to start making better financial decisions. Credit is defined as the ability to borrow a good or service before payment, based on the understanding that the payment will be made in the future. People who lend money to others decide the terms of how much they can lend to someone in exchange for a certain rate in return, called the interest rate. The way that lenders decide how much they can trust someone to pay them back is by checking their credit score. A credit score is basically someone's financial report card that gauges how responsible someone is when they borrow money from others. So I know some of this terminology can be daunting, but don't worry, I'm here to help you. Before you build and improve your credit, it's important to know what factors go into your credit score and how much each factor counts into the total. In your credit score, or FICO score, the data is grouped into 5 different categories. The 5 categories look like this in a pie chart. You can clearly see that certain categories weigh a lot more than others. The following categories that make up your credit include new credit at 10%, credit mix also at 10%, the length of your credit history at 15%, the amount you owe at 30%, and your payment history at 35%. People tend to simplify their credit score by thinking of the single numbers, but many factors that are intricate and varied make up the whole number. With that in mind, you can realize that your credit score is unique, just like you. Now that we've established the breakdown, you're probably wondering, what are the best practices to help build and maintain a solid credit score? So thinking about the new credit category, there's research that concludes if you open up a few credit accounts within a short time frame, this will negatively impact your score. If you were to open up a new credit card, this would create what's called a hard inquiry. I recommend waiting at least 3 months in between hard inquiries. Conversely, your credit mix accounts for just as much as new account openings. There are many types of credit accounts, such as student loans, car loans, and credit cards, just to name a few. And having a solid mix of these can be helpful if you can maintain the debt. Next is the length of your credit history. This accounts for 15% of your score and is calculated by the average age of all your accounts. So hypothetically speaking, say you have 2 credit cards that are each 10 years old. The average age of your accounts would be 10. But if you were to open up one additional account, the average age of your accounts would drop and could harm your score. That's why it's important to learn these tips and establish good credit as early as possible. Next is the amount owed, which accounts for 30% of your overall score. The average American family's credit card debt is around $6,200. A best practice is to limit your borrowing and don't buy things that you can't afford. It's easy to buy a bunch of things once you're allowed a certain limit to spend, but realize the only person you're making rich by doing that is the bank. You're just hurting your future. Lastly is your payment history. Your payment history makes up 35% and is so important because it shows lenders how quickly you're going to pay them back. This tip doesn't seem to work for everyone, but I advise you to pay off your credit card bill in full every month so that you don't owe anyone any more money. If you practice these tips, then you'll quickly start to see your credit score rise and you're going to be getting the best borrowing rates available and save tons of money. Check out the next video where I break down several credit cards that can help you get cash on things you'd normally buy, how you can go on free vacations of your choice, or enjoy many other perks. I'll see you in the next video.